When you click it, I will click it.
I clicked it. Alrighty. Hello everybody. Let me open up a new browser window. Today we're going to be talking about the Google Hanguk website a little bit, but also there's a couple other things I wanted to review before we get into that. And let me just make sure the stream is working on YouTube. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Eddie, can you check YouTube? Can you check the YouTube one for us? Okay, first reminders as usual. We have a deadline that's actually today for Sheila University. So that is for their fall term, which is today. So if you're applying for Sheila University, please get us your documents today. And other schools include Gyeongsang, which is July 21st for their fall term, SKKU, which is May 21st for their one of their summer terms that starts in that starts during the summer. Let me check which one for you really quickly. You can see them actually on the screen as well. So for SKKU, their terms are shorter, so they actually start at various times throughout the year. So I believe it's for SKKU's August term. And then for Hanguk University, for SKKU it's for their June term that the May 21st deadline is. And for Hanguk University it is June 25th for their fall term, and for Hanyang it is July 16th for their fall term. And right now we are also running a study trip promotion. So let's say you want to go with your friends. If you and your friends or your family book all together, then you'd only have to pay one application fee. So it doesn't matter if it's you and 2 friends, you and 5 friends. If you all say like you're together as one group, then you're going to have a discounted application fee. So we're running that study trip promotion through the end of June, and that's when the deadline is. So if you get your application to us by then you can take advantage of that discount. So first, for this video, I wanted to run over some questions I've been getting from various sources, either emails or social media accounts. And first question is, oh, by the way, I'm Nathan. I'm the International Student Coordinator. If you haven't seen my videos already, this is, I believe, the 4th Ask Me Anything video we've done. And then we're also doing all the videos outside with our share house partner, and as well as our cultural activity trip activities. So you may have seen me on the internet before. We'll get into the questions first, and then I'll walk you through the website. The first question that I've been getting quite frequently is like, am I a real student at the university if I apply for the language school program? You are a real student at that university. The only difference is you're not a degree-seeking student. So a lot of universities will call this type of education like continuing education. So that means you're not a degree-seeking student, you're not getting explicit college credit for these classes, but you are an official like registered student with their Korean language program. So that's a question I get often. Many people are interested in just simply studying Korean, but they're wondering their official status, or they're interested in actually joining as an undergrad or graduate student and they want to sign up for Korean classes. That's a little different process, and also the Korean universities do have a Korean language requirement normally. So you have to fulfill that requirement before you're even admitted. So you need to study Korean or pass the TOEIC test or attend their language institute for a certain amount of time. Next question I will answer is like, in relation to that, like why can't I just sign up directly for the Korean language courses? If they're in a degree-seeking program, then you're not going to be able to sign up for those without first getting admitted as a degree-seeking student. So for us, we process applications through their Korean language institutes or centers of education. So that means that you're only going to be taking Korean language classes, and they may have field trips, they may have cultural trips attached to those, but it is not, again, it is not a degree-seeking program. You're not going to get a diploma, you're not going to get a degree, you're going to get maybe a certificate of completion, certificate of achievement, some type of certificate that says you've completed their program at the end. And it may say like I've completed 200 hours, 300 hours, 400 hours, however many hours it will be. But again, it is not a degree-seeking program. And at this time, we're not assisting with degree-seeking students. So we help explicitly with Korean language education classes at these institutes. So let's see what else we have. Sorry about the noise here. So the other thing I get asked about a lot is, where's the application form? I sent you emails, I didn't get the email, or I got the email but I didn't see where to apply or how to apply. Whenever we send you the list of required documents that you need for the application for any of the universities, we attach a bunch of documents to that. So you need to first check your email and make sure you got that email. Second, you need to check all the attachments on that email. There may be like upwards of 5 or more attachments, including the application form, dormitory information, tuition information, sample documents that you can reference for your application. So please check your email often and make sure you check all the attachments. If you're not added to like your safe sender list, the attachments may be ripped off the email, or our email may go to your spam because we email a lot of people every day. So just make sure that we're added to your safe sender list, that all our attachments can go through without them being filtered by your firewall or your email service. Another thing is that people sometimes will change their email address, which that's fine. But then if you decide to contact us through another email address, it won't roll into that same like thread or case that we have open for you already. So we prefer that you email us from an email you check often and that you're not going to change. Or maybe you make just one email address for this process that you have with us and keep that for the whole term. Because it's really difficult for us to manage all your information if you email us from 3 different email addresses. This happens often, actually. People will email us for months with one email address, then we'll stop hearing from them. And then a month later, we'll have an email from the same person with the same name, but a different email address, and maybe completely different information. You want to study longer or shorter, or they change schools, and we really have no way of knowing it's that same person. It may be just a person that has that same name. So if you're going to change your email address, like say, hey, like a week later, I'm going to change my email address to something, or if you do change your email address and don't let us know in advance, say in the message box on the contact form, hey, I used to email you guys from like my name at gmail.com, but now it's going to be like my name plus a number at gmail.com or something. Because like really, we have no way of knowing. It may be just someone with the same name. So just to make it easier for you and us, please make sure you at least let us know if you're going to change your email address, or keep the same email address for the whole time during the application process. Also, the school will need to email you some documents maybe. So if you give us an email address and you magically change it like during the application process, you may not get the proper documents from the school either. So that's something to consider when you're contacting us, and then even later when you're getting contacted from the school directly. So let's see, the next question I get quite often is, when do I need to pay? Basically, you'll need to pay in advance before you even arrive to Korea for tuition and for your lodging. The reason being is because your visa, especially if you study here long term, your visa is only good for the amount of terms you've paid for with the school, and that's the amount of terms the school can approve for you. So let's say I study for 4 terms for 1 year at Hanguk University, for example. You first have to apply and then get the invoice from them, and then you have to pay. in advance before you ever arrive to Korea, and then they can actually approve your visa for that length of time. If it's any like shorter, or I'm sorry, if it's shorter than that, like say you don't have to get a visa, you're going to only study for 1 term, you still have to pay in advance. They're not going to let you like pay monthly or pay weekly or any sort of payment plan. They need the payment in advance for tuition, and they also need the payment, you know, to approve your visa. For housing, the same deal goes. Like you need to pay in advance so that they know you're not gonna like not pay them. When you get to Korea, you need to probably wire transfer the money, or there may be some other options depending on which housing type you choose. So for like our share house partner, I know they accept maybe a credit card payment system like TransferWise or something. For others, they may just accept wire transfers. So especially for the dormitory, the schools want a wire transfer. So you need to just keep that in mind, that you're going to need to pay in advance. I know that may be inconvenient for some people, but we also let you know that there is like a requirement for funds for getting approved for the visa. So you're going to need at least the amount of money for tuition up front, if not more than that. So just be aware of that there's no payment plan. You can't pay after you study. You have to pay before you study, and you have to pay basically before you come to Korea. Let's see. I have one more question that I wanted to address. And for those just joining us, my name is Nathan. I'm the International Student Coordinator for Gogo Hanguk. We're talking about your questions as well as the website in just a little bit. There's been a lot of news media coverage of North Korea recently, and North Korean missile tests, nuclear capability, effects from different countries, Japan, China, the US. And, you know, is Korea safe? Should I be in fear of my life if I come to Korea? And basically day to day, there's no fear. Like Koreans go about their daily life. North Korea does these threatening actions like kind of periodically. And honestly, people in Korea don't pay as much attention to it. Yes, there is news media coverage, and yes, there is like military preparedness that happens, but it's not like a life-threatening situation where every day people are waking up wondering if they should go outside or if they need to go find a bomb shelter every day. So if you're worried about that, if your parents are worried about that, I just want to reassure you that it's not a big concern for your day-to-day life. People in Korea go about their lives, they work, they go to school, and they don't necessarily worry too much about a North Korean threat. So I just wanted to address that because there are people that are concerned about that and that have asked, like, should I be concerned? Do I need to, not come to Korea right now? The fact of the matter is it doesn't overall affect daily life here in Korea. The news media does talk about it a lot, so it is in the forefront of a lot of people's minds. But in terms of daily life, people go on. Another thing I wanted to bring up is that there are a lot of special days in Korea, and today is actually Teacher's Day. So if you're studying with us or if you're about to study, you can remember May 15th as Teacher's Day. And normally teachers will get gifts or flowers or things like that at school. So I know a lot of language school students will team up together and buy a card or buy flowers or buy something nice for their teacher on Teacher's Day. So those are all the questions I wanted to address. Again, if you do have other questions, then please leave them in the comments on either Facebook or YouTube, and we'll be happy to answer those or get back to you after the live. And I am watching on my phone the stream, and Eddie is helping me as well, so we can address those questions quickly for you. So a lot of people will contact us using our contact form on our website and ask us a bunch of questions, and a lot of times I have to refer them back to the website because it actually gives like a bunch of information, great information that you probably will need when you consider studying in Korea. And we've tried to make our website like as easy as possible to use and full of information, so you minimizes your questions for us and makes it easy to contact us as well. So you probably are familiar with our homepage right here. As you can see, and Eddie's turning the camera around for those on Facebook. As you can see, there's a lot of information right at the top, such as our application deadlines, which are always very important. So those are a good thing to keep in mind. If you scroll down, it kind of describes our process. Again, we don't charge any fees past what the school charges. Our service is completely free. You have your getting started section, so about our study trips if you want something short term, or if you want to pick a school for a long-term trip, you can do that too. We have all our social media links there. And just some reasons why we're a good partner to work with when you want to live and study in Korea. We're based in Korea. We help you with accommodation. We have a bunch of students that have come through us, so you can share your experience with other people maybe from your home country. And we provide us support in many different languages as well. And down at the bottom, I'm sure it's something you all are familiar with. It's our contact form. So this is probably what you're going to be filling out most often. And one thing to do before you decide to fill out the contact form is to do just a little research on our website. So you see at the top we have schools. So I'm going to click into this. And you say, oh great, so now I know the partner schools that Gogo Hanguk works with. I'm going to try to straighten out the camera here for Facebook. There we go. And okay, so you have 4 schools in Seoul, you got 2 in Busan. Oh, that's great. I'm just going to pick the first one, Konkuk University. So if you click into Konkuk University's page here, and these are clickable buttons, you'll see a basic introduction of the school, so you can maybe learn a little bit about what type of program they have. You can see the school intensity. 5 chevrons here is the highest intensity, and 1 is the lowest. We do give you a text description about the intensity. This button that says Start Application Now, that'll send us to our contact form. That's because we need a little bit more information from you besides just your general kind of demographic information we get from the contact form. So then when we respond to you, we'll be able to really send you all the documents needed for the application and start collecting your documents that are needed from, say, your high school transcript or things like that. We have the features of the school. We have the location along with a map and distance to the train stations. And this is an important part to look at too, is the courses. And we have one question here. It says, are there teachers that talk in Spanish or are the classes only in English? That's a great question. All the classes are taught in Korean because even from level 1, because all the students are international. So it wouldn't make much sense to teach the classes in any other language besides the one you're learning. In my class, we had people from France and Taiwan and Japan and the US and a couple other countries as well. So they really want to immerse you in the language right from the start. So your classes are going to be in Korean. That might be intimidating, but it is the best situation for learning. So thank you, Cindy, for that question. Again, Cindy's question was, like, what language are the classes taught in? And they're taught in Korean, even from beginner. So, of course, they start you with very basics, the alphabet and greetings and such. But once you get those under your belt, they'll dive into language, or the grammar and vocabulary. So, but don't worry, like, a lot of people have studied at language school, and you pick up on language quickly since you are living in Korea. So thank you very much for that question, Cindy. So one thing that's very important, I think, to look at is the course information on each school page. And again, my name's Nathan. I'm the International Student Coordinator for Gogo Hanguk. I just wanted to give you a tour of our website because it has a lot of helpful information that maybe can help you decide on what school you want to go to and how long you want to study. So for most of our university partners, you have to study for at least 3 months. SKKU is an exception because their course is only 2 months per term, but for most of them, they're about 3 months. And most people can study for 3 months without a student visa, but please contact us with your nationality and let us know specifically like what your nationality is, and that can affect how long you can get a visa for, and or if you need a visa at all for a certain length of time. And this is also important, the available term starts. So some people may say, oh, I want to start in like July, but I want to go to Hanguk University. And unfortunately, they have a term that starts only in June and September. They don't start in July. So that's something to consider when you're picking a school, is like when you want to start. Some schools start at different times. Others follow this kind of March, June, September, December schedule. So a good part to look at here. When your classes will be, if there's going to be a morning or afternoon class or both, as well as what time they're from. So most morning classes start at 9 and they go to the early afternoon. Most afternoon classes start in the early afternoon and go till maybe early evening. The term breakdown is where you're going to find the difficulty of each level. So for instance, level 1 at Hanguk University, you're going to learn to read and write Hangul. You're going to learn some everyday conversation skills, your self-introduction, your 자기소개, daily life survival skills in Korean. And then this is actually a slider. So if you just pick this up and you drag it along, it'll go along to the different levels. So let's check out like level 5. So as you can see, we have a description for each level, even level 6. So again, pick up the slider and you can see exactly like what level, what you'll learn in each level. And normally it's 1 term per level. So after like 1 3-month period at Hanguk University, you'll finish level 1. And then you can go along and finish the other levels for each term. Next, we have the cost. A lot of people ask us like, oh, I want to study 6 months, how much will it cost? 12 months, how much will it cost? We actually provide all that information for you right here. This includes the application fee. So for 3 months, the tuition is this 50,000 won application fee plus the 1,600,000 won for the tuition. So this is going to be your total. What this doesn't include is something like insurance. It also doesn't include textbook fees. But normally we make a note right below the tuition on what it does not include. If there are any scholarships available for the school, we include that information as well. Tons of people ask me if there's scholarships available, and it really depends on the school, and it can also depend on your performance, because a lot of them are like merit-based, performance-based scholarships or attendance-based scholarships. So the best thing to do is to really analyze kind of the information on our website and to see what's really good for you. And of course, if you do have a specific question based on your situation, maybe maybe you want to get a working holiday visa, like how would that affect your studies? Or maybe you have some educational documents that are different than your standard high school diploma and your standard college diploma. If you have something really specific like that to you, then by all means send us a question or write us a message in the contact form. Otherwise, a lot of useful information are on our school pages. And again, our contact form is right at the bottom. For our language school partner called Lexis, they're a little unique. They're not a university, but the quality of education you get there will be just as good as any other university that we're partnered with. For them, they're like a private academy, so you can actually have a very flexible schedule. You can start any Monday. Tuition is a little different. You actually pay per week. Even though you have to pay all the tuition before you get to Korea, it's calculated per week and not like per term. So just for time, I'm not going to go through that page right now, but Lexis Korea is a little unique. I think we have another question. Yep, you're welcome, Cindy, for that answer. I hope I answered it to your liking. And Juan has a question. It says, is that for the dorms as well or housing? The prices on the school pages only cover tuition. If it says underneath that tuition breakdown, here I'll click into Conde again. If it says anything else that's included, it'll be like in that section on our webpage. So housing is separate from these costs. Similar to like a university maybe in the US, like tuition and housing are separate, books are separate, Insurance may or may not be included, but that is based on the school. So thank you, Juan, for that question. That's a really good question that a lot of people also ask. That's kind of also why we separate out our school information and our accommodation information. Accommodation fees are separate, and in terms of our language schools, some of them have dormitories that you can use and some of them don't. So that's kind of why we don't always put explicit pricing for that lumped with the school, because it is a separate expense and it really depends on the school. But since we talked about accommodation, that's a good segue into the accommodation section. Yeah, I see your comment, Juan. The payments are separate, as I said, so just remember to budget separately for your accommodation as well as tuition. I see we have another question from Cindy. Cindy says, if I don't know anything about Korean language, do you recommend I learn basic Korean, I guess, before starting a program? It's actually not necessary, because the people that take these courses, they all probably start from either knowing no Korean or knowing very little. You're all going to be on the same playing field. And also, the teachers know that you're beginner learners. They know that you probably are coming to Korea with no knowledge or very basic knowledge. So it's not necessary. You don't have to know any Korean when you start. Again, you'll start learning the very basics, the alphabet and basic readings, very basic grammar, and then of course the pace will pick up with vocabulary and more advanced grammar. But thank you, Cindy, for that question. Again, a lot of people do ask that, if I need to be familiar with the alphabet, if I need to be familiar with basic greetings like hello and thank you and where's the bathroom and things. You actually don't need to know any of that when you start, and the schools know that you're a beginner learner, that you're going to Korea to study the language, so they understand where you're coming from, and I think you'll meet other students in that exact same situation. So thank you very much for that question. We're going to learn, or kind of go into the accommodation information now. As Juan had commented earlier, the school tuition and the school accommodation fees are separate. And here we have a bunch of information about the accommodation. And I've actually made another video that's on YouTube and Facebook about all of our accommodation options. And I'll probably get a little bit into those right now, but I wanted to review again just the information that's on our website. So again, you let us know what you want, and the options do depend on the school and maybe the part of town as well as the city. But in general, we'll let you know the options that are available to you if you don't have something picked out already. So let's say you want to go to SKKU, Sungkyunkwan University, and you want a MIDI studio. If you let us know that, then we can start looking for you immediately for a good location near the school for you, as well as a place that is nice and has the proper facilities you need. And of course, we'll send you pictures, we'll send you the monthly rent, whatever deposit there may be, whatever other fees there may be, and also what's included in the rent. So a lot of times with mini studios, everything is included. You don't have to pay separately for gas or water or electricity or internet or anything like that. But for other housing options, it may be different. So again, just check with us and let us know your requirements. We do find multiple options for you, or at least we try to, so that you get the best deal possible. Here's the share house information. We have a great partner called Borderless House that we work with. GoGo Hanguk students get a discount if they book with us. So maybe you saw our videos online about our share house partner, as well as visiting one of their properties. And then here's a mini studio. We can find you a mini studio just about anywhere. Again, let us know your requirements. For homestay, we can find you a homestay as well. Maybe you want to live with a Korean family and see how it is to be able to communicate with a Korean family day to day, practice what you learn in class, get a really immersive cultural experience. And we have just a couple frequently asked questions. And if you do have another question that isn't listed here or that I haven't answered during the live stream, please leave a comment below. Let me just check if there's any more questions here. Doesn't look like it right now. And then these are like general prices. Again, these give you like a general idea of what it's going to cost to live in Seoul and Busan for a variety of different options. The best thing I can tell you is that if you want specific numbers, of course, contact us for a reservation and booking. But these are like the general numbers you should probably be budgeting for when you think about something like a mini studio, when you think about something like a share house, because actually a lot of people will say, oh, I want to come to Korea, I want like the most cheapest, package available. And while, yes, we can offer you very affordable pricing, that also can kind of determine the quality, especially for housing. So we want you to have a comfortable living experience. We want you to have an enriching learning experience. So we'll send you the best option available according to your budget. And it may be not quite as cheap as maybe you're expecting, but we do want to make sure that you're going to be comfortable while you're studying here, and that we will work within your budget as best we can, because we don't want you to get somewhere and like the wallpaper's peeling off the walls and the bathroom is dirty and the bed is uncomfortable. So all those things. Let me see if there's any question. It doesn't look like it right now. As we've been writing on YouTube, you can change the language of our website to various other languages. So let's say you're not a native English speaker, you can change it to Spanish or Swedish or Italian. So we do support in other languages as well, as I mentioned earlier. So again, we have the prices in both Seoul and Busan. We're located in Seoul, but we do have language schools in Busan as well. So of course we have the information for Busan as well. Busan is the second largest city in Korea. It is right near the ocean, right near the beach, great seafood, different kind of feeling than Seoul. People say it's more kind of laid back, relaxed. And you can of course use our contact form, but there's also our email address, which is info@gogohanguk.com. So either one of those avenues is fine for contacting us. And if we do take a little bit longer to respond to you, we apologize for that. We do get many emails every day, so normally it takes us between 1 and 3 business days. If it does take longer than that, please don't worry. We will get back to you as soon as possible. And if it's a little longer and you don't hear from us, feel free to remind us and give us another message. Let's see, right at the end, I'll touch on our study trip since we do have a promotion for now. Again, the promotion is if you sign up with your friends, you're going to get a discount of just paying 1 application fee. So you can comment, when you send us a message or on your application, say, hey, I'm signing up with my friend John and my friend Jake. So please give us that promotional price. So again, we have a variety of study trips based on the time of year and theme. Right now, we're accepting applications for the 3 on the left: our summer course, our summer trip, and our Youth Korea course. We're unique in offering something for youth. We're probably the only company offering that at the moment based in Korea. It's a unique program that really focuses on the Korean wave, Korean pop culture in Korea, really fun activities. Same thing with the summer course. A lot of fun culture activities as well as entertainment activities planned. Same as with the summer trip. With the summer trip, the Korean classes are optional. With the youth and summer course, you do get the opportunity to study at Lexus Korea while you're here. The price includes housing. It includes all of our activities. And if you've seen the videos me and Eddie have done going to, like, say, the Volk Village or Gyeongbokgung, that gives you kind of like a preview of what to expect on the cultural and fun activities we have planned. We went to a market as well. We went to the SM Town at COEX. So as we kind of get into summer and the weather gets really nice, we'll try to show you more activities, more fun places around Seoul. As well as perhaps our language school partners. You've probably seen a lot of our videos doing class observations, so we hope to bring you more of those in the future as well. So we're just about at 40 minutes. We have a couple more minutes left. Again, my name is Nathan. I'm the International Student Coordinator at GoGo Hanguk. I've been answering questions about living and studying in Korea, as well as reviewing all the information on our website. The information on our website, we keep up to date as much as possible. We do check it and make sure there's no typos or correct, and make sure it's correct to the date very frequently. So it really gives you the most up-to-date information that you can get without directly emailing us. And it can really help you make the decision like where you want to study and what budget you should set. Since I showed you a school in Seoul, I think I'll just click through one in Busan. And Shilla University is a little unique in that their terms are 20 weeks instead of 10. So you actually study a little bit longer at Shilla University when you apply. They do have some part-time job opportunities on campus based on availability and opportunities, like your skills, maybe your language skills as well. So something to consider. And of course, we have the map of the school location, the distance to the train station. And again, course information is very important. Your minimum is studying at 6 months at Shilla because of their term schedule. You can start only twice a year as opposed to 4 or even 6 times a year like our other university partners. And I have another question, again from Juan. So let's say I study in Korea for 2 years and will live in a mini studio for the first year, and for the second year I'd like to stay with the host family. Is this possible? Thank you for that question, Juan. And yes, it is possible. You may change your housing accommodation as long as you let us know in advance. So let's say, as you said, you live in a mini studio for 1 year, maybe a couple months before you plan on moving out. Just let us know that you'd like to switch to a homestay or maybe even a share house or something, because we do need time to find that for you and make sure there's availability. So let's say you start sometime in March studying at a school. Let us know like near the end of the year or even during like January to make sure that we have time to find a proper housing accommodation for you in a different type. Also, brand new news, we have a school coming soon in Daegu. It's called Yeongnam University, and it'll be our 3rd city we've expanded to in Korea. Daegu is also the 3rd biggest city in Korea, and as well as being our 3rd city partner. So look for that information on our website. You'll find it on the school page, and we'll probably make some sort of announcement as well on our homepage and social media. So please look out for that very soon. We're excited to add another city as well as another partner to our list of partner schools. And again, we're always looking to add more schools all over Korea. So if there is a city that maybe you're interested in studying in, we'll hopefully have a partner there soon. And so we're happy to announce our partnership with Yeongnam University in Daegu. Thank you, Eddie, for that reminder. We're just about approaching 40 minutes here. And yes, you're very welcome for Juan for that answer. Again, we'll answer any questions that we don't get to on the live stream in the comments below. So say you're watching this video later, please comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We'll be, of course, doing these AMA videos weekly on Mondays, about the same time, noon Korean time. So just make the time change accordingly for your time zone. Right now, I believe it's like 11 p.m. Eastern time in the US. So after you get off school or work and you're eating dinner and you want to find out more about living and studying in Korea, please join us on Mondays. Other live videos we do have been later in the week with our sharehouse partner about our activities that we do for our study trips. So hopefully we'll be able to get more of those videos to you very soon. My coworkers that are in charge of other markets also do live videos. So if you have friends that say speak Spanish as a native language, speak Swedish or Italian, please let them know about those pages, as well as that they can have live video content in their language as well. So I think Eddie's going to turn around the camera for Facebook. He's having a little trouble. So I'll just be signing off here soon. Thank you. So I hope today you got some great information about our website. You can see where to find the information and how that can help you make that decision about living and studying in Korea. Again, specific questions, or if you want to get an application started, please contact us using our contact form. Please contact us using email or even social media. We read all of our inbox messages on Facebook as well as our DMs on Instagram. So there are many ways to get in contact with us, and we will answer you as soon as possible. And so I've been Nathan, the International Student Coordinator for GoGo Hanguk, and I look forward to seeing you next week at the same time and in future live videos, live on location out in Seoul and in Korea. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.